Hey everyone, I'm just going to go over my single target build for the Thaumatruge wizard. My last video is kind of, what's it called, Master Temple the Spider focused, and I've changed some things up since then. But they're very similar, right? Obviously some like the boots change and stuff like that, with campaign boots you can get. But I just want to go over, for a single target general, right, this is everything outside of, Master Temple of the Spider. Obviously, demo's coming up shortly, so it's going to be very helpful for that, as well as yeah, any other single target things you can think of. Okay, so pretty straightforward, similar stuff, right? Chris Joe. If I do like pure single target, say like in Tom or Zerial, obviously there's two parts in Zerial that are double, right? I'll just go also swap to this one, right? And just 7% up constantly. And then you'll be pretty much at 90% right off the bat. So if your crit strike, crit severity is 90%, you're going to be doing a lot of damage. Especially when Tom, right? Because he phases in, usually artifacts are called, and then you have no time to build stacks where you can just like, everything's already close to 90 or is 90, and then you're good to go with that. So those are two good options as well. I use the accuracy combat advantage one. If you do have the crit strike, crit severity, it works as well. Mighty Embraces. Oh, one chess piece I want to try out would be the chess piece from the campaign. That gives, what's it called? This one here. You do 5% more damage to enemies facing you. Not facing you, the bonus doubles in Underdark. So demo is Underdark. So I want to try it out in demo. Obviously, I'll be losing some stats, but I can play around with the build to make up the combat advantage at least. But the accuracy may be left behind. But that's an option as well. Arms, I'm running the Mighty Vampires with the Dragon Hunter. Some other good ones, right? Are this is a Raptor build, so if you're not a Raptor, you may need Rest Guards of Precipitation, the crit severity gloves as well. I actually made a recharge speed build. I'm gonna try out soon. I'll make a video about it, where like my repel is every like 5 seconds. So it's gonna be. I'm pretty excited to try it out, and pure single target with one ring. I can do it with other groups as well, but I have to change the ring up. Mastercraft. I'm excited to try the new set as well. Artifact. I'm running Ray of Frost in this case. You can do Chilling Cloud as well. I just prefer Ray of Frost. I'll explain it when I get to the ring as well. But especially like Tiamat when you're jumping around and you have to cancel things, the spells and that. Ray of Frost, you're not stuck in animation. You can just you can instantly cast your encounters. You're not missing, right? You can cast a spell. You can dive immediately, right? You can move. That's why I kind of like Ray of Frost. In certain situations where Chilling Cloud, right, it is nice to have like the AoE as well as it does solid damage as well. They're pretty close, honestly, in damage. The smoothness of Ray of Frost definitely is superior, right? So try it out, see what you like. Modifications, recharge speed, and accuracy. This obviously accuracy can change on what you want. This can be AP gain or where else you want, but I think recharge speed or AP gain is probably your best bet for what it goes. I'm running Rusted Iron Leggings for the extra 5%. Obviously this is you sacrificing the incoming healing, especially this can kill you in certain situations, right? This is like, it is good, the boots are good, but you gotta be willing to accept death sometimes, right? If you don't have them or you don't want to use them, right, there's the new Dragon Hide, gives you crit severity. That's a good choice as well. It opens up some things of the build, right? Your companion gear as well. I'm going to try this out as well over the Rusted Iron Leggings as well to try out. Other ones, right? You have Wasteland Wanderers. You need the combat advantage and Forest Guardian Raid shoes, right? These ones are nice if you're not always teleporting around. Artifact set, right, is a combat advantage one. Other ones you can run are Mythalar, right, and Demo. I'll either do Demo or, sorry, I'll do Mythalar or this one. This one opens up the build, right, to other things you can run. You get that 7.5%, right, crits or combat advantage. You'll have it up in long fights all the time, so it's good to go. I'm running the Vistani ring. There's other rings you can run, right? The combat advantage ring and stuff like this, but like, my combat advantage, right, is, even without this ring, right, is like 7,200-ish, or is it 7,400, sorry. This gives 5.5% combat advantage, right? So this gives more combat advantage in stats compared to the combat advantage ring that gives 5%. Obviously, if you're already capped in ratings, the 5% combat advantage ring is a good choice, and stuff like this. But this one has recharge speed, right? Combat advantage, ton of combat advantage, and it helps the group out, right, with the decreased defense and awareness. These stack up as well, and they help out the group so much. Like, honestly, this is like, it's unbelievable how well, if a few people are running this, how fast the burn is. So those are good choices. Other ones, right? You can run Red Eyes Glare if you're not running Raptor, or maybe you need it still. Band of Air is still an awesome choice. You have the Encounter ring, right? I have the Crit Strike ring, but it doesn't work yet. That's a good choice as well. You have the Accuracy ring from Dragons. This one you can buy, right, and stuff like this. The Recharge Speed ring, the Accuracy ring, they're all good choices, right? There's no like one insane one anymore, like the Band of Air, right? So that's a good choice. I'm running Soothsayers, the Crit ring for 7%, and the Forte and Action Point game is nice. The shirt, the Crit Severity shirt, Crit Strike pants. This one's awesome because every 5 seconds, right, you are reducing your cooldowns by 1 second. So especially, it's just getting everything up, right? Especially with the artifact calls, you can get your rotation out, artifact call right, and then have everything else up. This obviously changes depending on what I'm running, what they ask me to run. Obviously, now the sets, you can run journals if you want. You can run the Black Dragon set, right? Especially in recharge speed is really nice as well. That's a good choice as well. I'm running Int and Charisma. Other choices, obviously Dexterity or Constitution for AP gain. Obviously my power is low, but so 71.7. But now with the new, there's 2 runic auras we get now, right? So this is going to be over 75%, plus the other raptors, you're at 90% as well, right? So obviously if it changed with if we don't have the 2 runic auras, which most groups do now because it's getting cheaper and cheaper to buy the new Mystic Aura, that's a good choice as well. Everything else is pretty much capped, right? So this is like 1%, 0.9% off. This one's at 82.8. This is because I just got the Forges box of it as well. This is roughly around 80% without the Forges, like without the random chance of it. And then Crit Strike, right, would be 72 with Squash Soup, and then roughly 10% more is 82, right? And then this one is 90. So that's another choice as well. Accuracy rate is extra 15% or 7.5%, and then so that's good to go. There's many ways of doing this, right? Powers, I run Ray of Frost most of the time, or Chilling Cloud. It all depends what you prefer. Counters, Entangling Force, Repel, Icy Rays, and Fireball in R1. I've been going back and forth to testing with Chill Strike. Chill Strike doesn't do as much damage as Entangling Force, right? So they're roughly the same on a cooldown, even though the magnitudes are lower. It hits 4 times, right? And they add up to more than Chill Strike, right? So play around with it, see what you prefer, but testing it, and Entangling does more damage. Okay, other ones you can do, you can put Icy Rays in R1 as well. You can take out Fireball to run Ray of Enfeeblement. It helps out the group as well, and honestly the damage isn't too much lower. You will lose out, but honestly it helps out if you have a lot of wizards and stuff like that, right? Magical and projectile damage or range, right? And that's good to go. Ice Knife, only one you'll be using. Feats, critical configuration is always on. The ones that can change are Swath of Destruction. So this can change to Orb of Opposition. That's a good choice as well, but the 5% more damage against control immune targets. So this one, you control powers, right? You have 1, 2, and 3. This one isn't a control power, right? You could do, if you really want, you can put Chill Strike back on and put Icy Rays in R1, and then all 4 of yours are control powers, right? And then that helps, that can be a choice as well. And then Ice Knight doesn't control. Or how to say, it knocks down, right? So yes, it does. So that's another choice as well. I'm running Smolder Recovery for AP game. This one, it doesn't really matter in a lot of circumstances, but there are ads that come up, right? Obviously this is going to help with your Smolder. It does a ton of damage. It's pretty much your #1 damage, right, in AoE compared to your daily. But it definitely helps out. There are groups, there are builds, right, that are on Icy Veins. If you're on Icy Veins with Frigid Winds, you can just definitely do your rotation, get your stacks up, right, as well, with only 3 encounters, and then you're good to go. Well, that's your personal preference. So I run Glowing Flames, I run obviously Shadow Strike. I don't think this one, Chilling Advantage, is not Shadow Strike #1. This one, right, I run Critical Burn. I just prefer the 10% crit severity right off the bat, other than stacking Frigid Winds. Obviously longer fights that the boss doesn't phase, or you're not switching, right, Frigid Winds is a really good choice as well. But like, when Hallister comes, right, or any, like, it's just like, or you're switching from a barrel, right, in Temple, this is always up. So it's always going to be maxed out, right, where this one, you lose your stacks and stuff like this. This one, obviously, there's a bigger chance of losing stuff, so it's like a higher risk, higher reward kind of thing with this one as well. I just prefer having the 90% right off the bat and stuff like that. This one, for burst, sure, stuff like this, right, or through phasing of the boss, I think Vampire is better. But if the boss doesn't phase, or it's a longer fight, you can still do just as much, or close to the same damage, or more damage with Directed Flame. So this one, play around with to see which one you like in different fights, right? This will change. And I'm going to test this out more with longer fights with Directed Flame. Okay? And then one other thing, with this one, if you're constantly attacking with Chilling Cloud, right, it doesn't have a chance to lose the Vistani procs, right? So you're gonna apply this. It's gonna go for 5 seconds, right, and then what's gonna happen is it's gonna you have to wait 5 seconds to apply it again. Where you're at will, right? Chilling Cloud will always be proccing it the third hit. So that's another thing. If like it's a constant fight and you're not jumping around, you can maybe not have it up all the time, kind of thing, or most of the time. But honestly, it's up most of the time anyways with Chilling Cloud. But Ray of Frost is just smoothness, right, and it just helps you out. So either one, I would choose. They can do, and then you can throw in Magic Missile, right? So if you wanted to, obviously to keep your arcane stacks, and keep Chilling Cloud up, you have these 2 here, right? And then you can throw in Magic Missile to keep up the stacks, right? And then you have just 2.5% damage up all the time. Or if you wanted to just, if you really like, just do Magic Missile the entire time. Because my chill stacks don't do anything, right? I don't have Chilling Presence, I don't have Frigid Winds, right? So my chill stacks don't really do much damage, they don't apply any damage, right? So I can definitely just run Magic Missile if I wanted to. So it all depends what you kind of you want as well, right, to get the Arcane Mastery up. But if you are running Frigid Winds, right, which is a very strong build, you can definitely the Chilling stacks, right, will help you more with damage. So both builds are really good, right? These 2, and then these 2 as well. And then you can just swap these ones as well if you're doing that. Boons, they're all the same. I'm running not the Forte one because I don't need it, but if you do need Forte, you have to take that over the AP gain, or the recharge speed. It's up to you. If you prefer Guild, Crit Severity, Awareness, a single target, right, and then Revive Sickness. Companions, running Pseudo Dragon. This can change, right? I know people run other ones as well. Obviously, Githyaniki is really good at this and ads and stuff like that, and it's still a solid single target as well. I ran 3 crit severity ones, just because of what I lost. This can change, right, depending on your build, and then precision. Offense, Batiri, these ones never change. And then Raptor never changes. And then Alchemist Discipline, or you can run Golden Cat, right? There's also good options as well. And then this one I've been changing. So I've been running 3 damage comps lately just to try out. Usually lately, before that I wasn't. I'd be running the Black Dragon Insight. So if I don't have Black Dragon Insight, I would lose the 3 damage comps, but I would change up this right to Perfect Vision, right? Because I'm gaining the 7% crit strike from there. Honestly, it's very close. You know, if you don't have Neverwinter's Night and stuff like this, or can't fit it in where the crit strike really matters. Crits, you can run crits as well if you need the crit severity. There's also some good options, right, of what you actually need. But I've been running the 3 damage comps to try out, and it's been really successful. But honestly, 2 damage comps, you're doing a lot of damage as well. 2 damage comps, I think, especially with if you're running Frigid Winds, right? 2 damage comps and Frigid Winds, you're going to be doing. This is going to give you what 9.5% damage. So like you said, it's going to be up a lot, right? So that's some options you can try out. Mounts, Giant Toad, and Accuracy. Accuracy, this can change, right, depending on what you want. Assassin, Artificial Persuasion, Gladiator's Guile, and Warlords. Those are the options as well. So this is like the general single target build, right? And then just the rotation, right? I will throw out encounters before we do artifacts because things will be back up, right? So I'll do like Fireball, Entangling, and Repel kind of thing, and then they'll be back up for an artifact haul, just so I can build my stacks on my chest piece, my helm, right, and then my artifact set. But play around with it. Obviously, like I went over some different options you can run for feats and class features, right, and then encounters. See what you like, and if you have any questions, just put a comment below, and then I'm more than happy to answer it. So hopefully this helps out, right? Like honestly, this build is very strong. You'll be pretty much never top DPS or like close, right, and falling mechanics. The only time you're losing if you start dying, right, or you're just not playing the build better you practice it more, or there's better people you're playing against, which is all good, right? We're always trying to get better and better and better. So hope this helps and enjoy.